And please join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. Starting off, citizen concerns, item number 2, first thing on the agenda. Anything that is not already on the agenda, please come up at this time.
Maria Ranquist, 3121 Norman Drive. I sent Keith, I sent you an email. You already listened.
Is this on the pipeline?
Regarding the pipeline,
Yeah,
yes.
I believe we already did do an ordinance as far as that goes.
Do you have ordinance already?
It depends on what level of ordinance, I guess, but we did pass one almost last year, I think.
Or did you pass a letter or resolution?
Was it a letter? Okay, yeah.
That was the letter that 38 count, how many? I think, yes, about 36 counties did that. So is it possible they consider to do an ordinance regarding the
Sorry.
CO2 pipeline? Because some of them already have filed to the IUB. It's not approved, but planning in mid-2023 start construction. So at some, in the video that you already watched, the Zoom let you, information how to do the ordinance, and some counties are considering that. I just wanted you guys consider that.
Sure.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And then was Troy Husen on the phone for citizen concerns?
No, I think he's with the. I'm just here for the zoning, the zoning portion.
Sounds good. Anybody else here for citizen concerns? All right, moving on to approval of the agenda. I'll move that.
Second.
Motion by Radig, second by Operative DeWitt. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on to the consent agenda. Items 4 through 9 constitute a consent agenda of routine action items to be considered by one motion. Items pass unanimously unless a separate vote is requested by a board member. Item 4 is approval of the minutes of the May 3rd, 2022 meeting. Item 5, approval of claims. Item 6 from Building Services, approval of items to be auctioned per personal property disposition policy. Item 7A, approval of memorandum of personnel transactions. And 7B is authorization to initiate hiring processes. Item 8 from Board Administration to set the public hearing for the FY22 budget amendment number 1 for May 31st, 2022 at 4:40 p.m. And item 9 from Board Administration, approval of lifting tax suspensions for petitioners who failed to recertify their income or income does not qualify for continued tax suspension.
I'd move it for discussion.
I'll second. Motion by Taylor, second by Radig. Any discussion on the consent agenda?
Dennis, just for the good of the public, can you let us know what is the FY22 budget amendment number 1?
Part of it's for, a lot of it's for grants, some is for additional expenses on the audit, some of it is for, a lot of it's for conservation, purchase of land. This is probably gonna be one of our smallest budget amendments we've had in a long time.
Do you know what we're talking total? Around?
Probably about $1.1 million,
Okay,
and 800 some thousand of that is land purchase.
thank you.
Any other discussion?
Detailed for you.
Any other discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. That ends the consent agenda. Item 10A from Secondary Roads is receive bids for project parent M299 and return them to the county engineer for review.
Colin Ryan filling in for Mark Nera.
You almost got to move the whole microphone up there.
This bridge here is, oh, it's fine. Bridge here was on Taylor Avenue. It was closed because it was in pretty bad disrepair. Some piling was failing. Oh, I will take that. They clamped it. They also sealed it. They tricked me.
We got these. That way you can't hurt yourself.
Don't run with that.
Don't tempt me. Our first bid is here is from Dixon Construction from Correctionville, Iowa. Bond is enclosed. And they bid $350,180.94.
351, what was it?
$350,180.94.
Sounds good, thank you.
Second bid here is from Graves Construction of Spencer, Iowa. They also enclosed their bond. And their bid was $451,040. There's a bit of a difference in the two amounts, but we still ask that we take some time to review them because just one small error on a bid item could make a big difference in the overall
I'll
total.
move to receive.
Second.
Motion by DeWitt, second by Taylor. Any discussion? All those in favor of receiving, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. 10B, consider approval of resolutions for drainage district tax levies.
There are 9 drainage districts. Each one of these will need to be individually approved by motion. The majority of these levies are also $0. There's only a few where there's actually any being recommended to be charged. There is one change from what was sent in earlier, the Anthony Central District. So we're recommending a levy of $0 and $0 as well for Poverty Hollow. Those will be taken care of back at our office.
We got to pass each resolution?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
First one here I have is Anthony Central.
I'll move the resolution for Anthony Central.
Second.
Motion by Radig, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
Second drainage district I have here is for Bennett McDonald for $35,000.
I'll move Bennett McDonald.
Second.
Motion by Radig, second by Taylor. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
Next up, I have Maple River, also $0.
I'll move Maple River.
Second.
Motion by Radig, second by DeWitt. Any discussion on that? Matthew, you missing all the signing.
I'll be right there.
All right.
Next up, we have
Well,
Ordinance.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Orange, what was it?
Orton Slough, $0.
I'll move Orton Slough.
Second.
Motion by Radig, second by DeWitt. Any discussion on Orton Slough? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
Next up is Poverty Hollow, which as I mentioned is $0.
What was it?
$0.
No, the
Poverty Hollow.
Poverty Hollow. I'll move that.
Second.
Motion by Radig, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
Next up, Smithland Drainage District, again, $0.
I'll move Smithland.
Second.
All right, we got a motion by Radig, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
Now Smoky Hollow, $0.
Move it.
Second.
Motion by Taylor, second by DeWitt on Smoky Hollow. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
And just to clarify, all these motions are including an interest rate of 5%, is that right?
Is in the resolution, I believe 5% is what has
Okay.
been set by the board.
Okay, thank you.
Next up, Weber Creek, again, $0.
I'll move Weber Creek.
Second.
All right, we got a motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
Wolf Creek, which is $28,000.
I'll move it.
Second.
All right, motion by Taylor, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
There's Wolf Creek Pumping, number 1, but that one is noted on here, that hearing is not required, so I do not have it with me here tonight. I do have Wolf Creek Pumping Subdistrict number 2, and then the following 2, which require a hearing and to be passed individually. So, next, I guess, is Wolf Creek Pumping District number 2.
All right. I'll move Wolf Creek Pumping District number 2.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Raddick, second by Taylor. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
The last one, so we can get to that set time item, Pumping District number 3, Wolf Creek Pumping District number 3.
I'll move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by, we'll go DeWitt. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
I may have been premature in my question, but I guess we can approve the resolution setting interest rates at 5% for drainage district warrants. I'll move that.
I'll second. That's 10C on our agenda, which is approve the resolution setting interest rates for drainage district warrants for districts under the jurisdiction of the Woodbury County Board of Supervisors. The motion was made by Taylor, second by Raddick. Any discussion on it? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? It passes 5-0. All right, so we are a little over our set time. But 11A, all right, it's 11B is the public hearing. You want us to just receive the final report real quick?
Yeah.
All right, 11A, receive final report from zoning commission recommendation from their 4/25/22 meeting. I'll move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. So now we're on 11B, which is the public hearing. So we are now in a public hearing on a zoning ordinance map amendment to rezone GIS 8946241000009, owned by the Joint Revocable Trust of Alvin O. Zelmer and Barbara Zelmer for the agricultural preservation to the Agricultural Estates Zoning District. Anybody to be heard? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Hearing none, Mr. Chair, I move that the public hearing be closed.
Second.
All right, motion by Taylor, second by DeWitt. Any discussion on it? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Item C is conduct and approve the second reading of the ordinance as the final reading. I will move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by Taylor. Any discussion from anybody out there? Anyone from the board? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Item D is approval to waive the third reading. I'll move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Item E is approval to adopt the zoning map amendment to the zoning ordinance. I will move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Item F is receive final report and zoning commission recommendation for the 4/25/22 meeting. I will move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? 4:42 set time public hearing on a zoning ordinance. That amounts, passes 5-0. I don't remember if I said that now. Public hearing on a zoning ordinance map amendment to rezone GIS parcel 8747052000002 owned by the Max's Family Farm LLC and the Brian and Bonnie Ivner Trust from the agricultural preservation to the agricultural estates zoning district. We're now in a public hearing. Anybody to be heard? Anybody that wants to complain about Dan putting too many letters on my agenda?
Hearing none, Mr. Chair, I move that the public hearing be closed.
Second.
Motion by Taylor, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor of closing the public hearing, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Item H is approve the second reading of the ordinance as the final reading. I'll move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by Taylor. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Item I is approved to waive the third reading. I will move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by Taylor. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Item J is approval to adopt the zoning district map amendment to the zoning ordinance. I will move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by Taylor. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Item K is receive the final staff report and P&Z Commission's recommendation from their 4/25/22 meeting. I'll move to receive that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Item L, approve the Al and Barb Concord Place Edition final plat and authorize the chairman to sign the resolution. I'll move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion?
Dan, we're going to have to talk after this, really. I mean,
All those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
I would move Dan Priestley utilize a minimum of 6 font on any item agenda.
You just got to zoom in on your phone. That's how it works. Item M, receive the final staff report and P&Z Commission recommendation from the 4/25/22 meeting. I'll move that.
second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Item N, approve the Houston Addition final plat with the condition that the property owner sign a pavement agreement with the county and authorize the chairman to sign the resolution. I will move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion?
I do.
Okay.
So in the signing of the pavement agreement, that's something that all parties find copacetic, agreeable?
Yeah, we worked ahead on this one quite a bit in conjunction with the county engineer. They've actually worked ahead in terms of getting that signed, and it would be recorded along with the final plat.
Okay, so we're not going to hear from anybody afterwards on this one?
The gentleman is here with us this evening who has
Okay.
agreed. So
All right,
If they don't want a house, that they have a decent road from it, and
yeah.
They worked
Thank you.
together so well, they coordinated their outfits almost.
And just for the, just for the record, this pavement agreement fits the county's policy of an 80-20 agreement, basically.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other discussion on item N? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Thanks for,
Thank you very much.
item 12. from County Sheriff's Office, approve and allow the county to allocate funds needed for the purchase of handguns and then to be reimbursed throughout the fiscal year. Take her away.
Tony Wingert for the Sheriff's Office. We did this back in 2017. It was for patrol rifles that the deputies ordered. The county had paid the initial purchase, and through reserves, Dennis, I think? I don't remember.
Would have been general basic.
Okay, but throughout the fiscal year, they pay it back by a payroll deduction that Michelle's in charge of. We're here asking today, their technology has changed on the handguns, and law enforcement's going to a red dot system on top of a handgun, improves accuracy, improves time on quicker time on target. It makes for better officer safety. You can't put them on your old weapon. Our policy prohibits red dot systems being screwed into an old weapon that isn't made to accept them. So they have to purchase a new handgun and the red dot system. It's a pretty pricey purchase all at one time. Example here, I have Sergeant Peterson's order form. It's $1,357 to get this purchased. What we're asking for is there's 39 employees that want to do this. We're asking for the county to front the money up front, and then they have a contract they signed, and worked good last time, Michelle, where if they were to quit before they're done paying for it, they have to, the money's taken out of their last paycheck, whatever's owed. If they go on military leave and it stops, it'll be taken out. So we're just asking for really you guys to front the money so the purchase can be made, and then they'll pay it back throughout the year.
This is similar to what we did with rifle purchases.
It's exactly the same, Matthew, yes. I don't have an exact amount.
Because everybody can pick a different firearm and.
The firearms instructor cadre, they've narrowed it. You can pick one of 5 sights, and one of 4 9mm weapons are the only ones that you can choose from.
So you're just looking for a no more than type of.
There it is.
Well, yeah, Norm said that he's approximating around $50,000 would be the total to get everybody all the equipment they need.
I'll move approval.
Second. This would come from reserves and then be paid back? Okay.
It'll be reimbursed same year. We'll do a budget amendment to add that in. If they can't find it within a regular budget, we'll amend it.
So we had a motion by DeWitt, second by Taylor. And any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Moving on to item 13, which is report on committee meetings. Go ahead.
The Les Hills consortium or group, and just brought up to them that the Destination Iowa grant, which is $100 million that's available from the state of Iowa, and by way of conversations with the initiative and the chamber, they are at around $11.4 million raised locally and private effort. And so that's about 60%, would be about 60% of what they're hoping for, nearly a $19 million plywood trail, be one of the premier trails recreationally across the state. And their hope is to leverage $7.5 million, which would be the 40%. Not for discussion today, but looking to potentially put on for next week, contributing what I think is a mere $10,000 of local option sales tax, really from an economic development standpoint. But I think that's exciting. They got the grant application in 1 minute after midnight, and I know the city of Sioux City, Sergeant Bluff, this could be a wonderful thing. So just kind of a back briefing the Les Hills group, because all of these things are interconnected in some ways with tourism and the natural beauty, et cetera. So more to follow on that.
Anybody else? I had the MPO policy board. We discussed, this is through Simcoe, obviously it's a COG in a region. So one of the things discussed was the realignment of road over in North Sioux. But that was put in the long-term plan and something that the MPO is moving forward with. A lot of the projects in the future are actually in Sioux City. Different communities essentially take turns. So a bunch coming up for Sioux City. Item 14, citizen concern round 2. Anybody to be heard on that? All right. Item 15, board concerns. Go ahead, sir.
I spoke with Mr. Jennings this morning about this ongoing and seemingly relentless situation with the Grant Township clerk that doesn't respond to emails, doesn't show up for meetings, has yet to submit a budget, and I guess it was out of frustration. I was asking, how long do we have to wait before we get some answers on what can be done with this? He told me that the guy he tasked with that was on vacation this week and he would get with him next week. Next issue was, we all remember getting an email from someone. There was a mention put out by the sheriff's office and sent to Sioux City PD. They have had some contact with this gent, so the people are aware. And lastly, our EMS department, and I know that Melissa was alerted to this as well, that have had no county department email addresses. It has all been what the local Western Iowa telephone down there supplies for their email addresses. I don't know what the headache was on why one of the previous directors had. He didn't want them on county email, but it's been brought to my attention for security reasons and other. From Mr. Malloy, the chief information officer with the joint WCICC department, that he strongly recommends that we bring them under county email addresses. So I think we'll be moving forward with that, or at least one of us will be talking with Melissa and or IT going forward on that as well. So
maybe you got to use some ARPA funds and run some fiber out there. Huh?
there is fiber out there.
Is there? Oh, okay. Then there shouldn't
Western
be an
Iowa
issue.
Telephone's got fiber all over their entire territory.
Well, like county fiber.
Huh?
Come on up and say it there.
Melissa Thomas, HR Director. I did receive an email from John Malloy today, also CC'd Interim Director Welty, and the director and also the clerk too out there did have county emails. It's the other employees, the EOC officers, paramedics, that we should get on county email. And not only for security reasons, but also so that they can get our training, the learning management system, and everything can be sent out to their emails, as well as other communications, make it a little easier. So I think it's a good idea.
Thank you, Mr. Malloy, for that heads up.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't realize that. I'm done.
Well, while you're there too, in case anybody else has any questions, next couple weeks, we're going to be lining up some closed session interviews for potential hiring candidate of the Emergency Services Department Director. Mm-hmm. And then next Tuesday, we'll have, we had a resignation out at Emergency Management.
The coordinator did
So
resign, so we'll start the hiring process.
that'll be on the agenda next Tuesday.
Yeah, a lot of changes.
And I do have one more thing.
Sure thing.
As I mentioned before with Mr. Radig, I and Mr. Welty will be meeting with offsite with an entity that is interested in becoming involved in our EMS department down there, and perhaps I can take you with me too, just for any HR type questions or issues, but it's strictly informational. Nothing will obviously be, I'm just anxious to hear what they're thinking. I don't know if they're talking about rural ambulance. I don't know if they're talking about co-opting the employees. I don't know yet, but that'll take place next June 8th or 9th in there someplace.
Okay, sounds good.
Now I'm done, I think.
All right, anybody else do you have anything? Anything? Matthew on the phone from India?
No, but Rocky, did you have an update on the LAC authority today?
Nothing worthy of reporting. We did have a closed session on an issue, but obviously that was closed session. They are moving along. More of the talk about was actually 28th Street, moving forward on getting that done with Sioux City Engineering and the eastern portion of it, if I remember right, and how they're going to have to close at least part of Outer Drive to put in a turning lane over there, so nothing too deep.
So we did have another concern, this Dorsey, John Daniels from Dorsey, or was it with fiscal agent, or what would you call it?
They're actually attorneys representing certs. They also represent us, so we have to sign off that we're okay with the conflict.
So basically,
Other attorneys too, on projects.
I don't know if I can just sign this, or we got to bring it back, put it on the agenda. I guess that's something I probably should just. Okay.
So basically, they can represent us both, but if we are in some conflict with certs, which I can't imagine, then they would have to.
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so this will be back on Tuesday, so. We do have some meat we got to use relatively soon.
Oh, that
Hamburger.
the United Way.
Yeah, 100 pounds of beef, so I don't know how we do that.
1 week at the Raddick house.
Not gonna be able to use it, and then, yeah, they don't need cows here.
We weren't planning on shipping it, but thanks for the suggestion.
So, I don't know, let's maybe put our heads together and come up with something on that. Then other than that, that's all I got, so we're adjourned.